A very warm welcome to International Talk Series by Dr. Hesham Hafez, CEO of Paper Distribution International World. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, let me acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guests. The first one is Professor Dr. Muhammad Yusuf Mashur, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academy International of University of Malaysia, Perlis Cinema, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Ahlan wa Sahlan, and also Willkommen in University Malaysia, Perlis. I hope this is right. Okay, in German. Besonderes an unseren besonderen Gast, Dr. Hesham Hafez, CEO of Paper Distribution International World, PDI, and wife, Miss Adrina Suad Sheikh Abdul Razak. Thank you for coming. States and UNIMAP Head of Departments, Deans, distinguished guests, students, and also ladies and gentlemen. Dear guests, on behalf of UNIMAP, we wish to extend our warm welcome and also thank you to all of you to International Talk Series by Dr. Hesham Hafez, the CEO of Paper Distribution International World. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our speaker today, the Harvard Business School alumni and also the COE of PDI World in 2018, he enrolled in Advanced Leadership Initiative Program, Senior Fellowship Program, Harvard University, also the author of the Global Innovator, How Nations Have Held and Lost the Innovative Age. Without further ado, I would like to invite the honorable guest, Dr. Hesham Hafez, to deliver his international lecture series entitled The Global Innovator, How Nations Have Held and Lost the Innovation Age. Please welcome, sir, please.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم اشرح صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. First of all, thank you very much. Tuanko, Kupuan, thank you very much for inviting me here. And thank you for everyone actually here, the akhawat and the ikhwa. The ikhwa and the akhawat. Thank you very much. And I would like to start actually and to tell you first who I am in order to understand where I come from. My name is Hesham Hafez, and I am Egyptian. I was born in Egypt. I moved to Austria. I was 18, 19 years old. I studied in Austria. I finished my study in Austria, and I moved after that to Cyprus. I was working in Cyprus, and then I moved my own business in Dubai. And I started my business really in 1995, and we built up a big company in the last 25 years. I got married in Malaysia with this beautiful lady, and I have two big boys, Adam and Omar, and they studied in United States. One finished already in UCLA, and the other one in Purdue, and he will finish in a year. So I want to say that in order to tell you that I am global. So I don't really belong to anywhere, but the only identity what I carry with me all the time, that I am a Muslim. This is the most important thing. This is my integrity actually. And whatever your color is, it doesn't matter, but my blood will stay forever Egyptian. So that's it. So, the story of the book, why I wrote a book actually, I have been all my life studying, and I have been all my life actually working and studying at the university. And my late father, Allah yarhamu, he told me all the time, you should write about your story, about a book. And I never actually thought I would write a book in my life, because I'm not a book writer. So, but the experience what I had in my life, and I would say the success we had, bitawfiq Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, encouraged me actually to put my experience and to put my biography in the book, despite I didn't want to put it, but my co-authors, they are the one insisted to put it, because they said very clear, I said who I am. I'm nobody, but she said, Weston, she said, this is exactly what we want. You are 99.9% of the people. And when you write something, it will go into the people's heart. But Michael Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, there's a phenomenon. It's not every day we have Michael Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, and that's why we include actually my biography into the book. And the book was actually my PhD, and I would like to tell you something for a long life learning for all of you guys. I finished 28, my master's degree. I went to Harvard Business School, I was 40. I started my PhD, I was 52, 53. I finished my PhD 54, and I wrote my book 56, and I'm now 60. So you can go more and more and never stop ending learning. And I'm involved and enrolled in another ALI in Harvard Business School, and I will have another project for a new book, inshallah, coming. But I have to earn some money first, and then we stop, and then we go back to school. So here, this is motivation why I wrote the book, because when I went to Harvard Business School in 2008, and the first actually lecture was about innovation. And I was wondering why I came from Dubai to Boston in order to learn about iPhone and Samsung Galaxy. Because the first thing what it comes actually to your brain as soon as we hear innovation, technological innovation. And this is actually all of us, we have the same concept and the same definition. And then after that, I discovered this is not. This is a lot of things about innovation, but I did not get really the right interpretation what innovation is. I didn't. And I tried actually to say, what is innovation? If I ask any one of you here, every each one, he will tell me a different interpretation about innovation. Everyone, tell out of the box, out of the, don't know what, this is a new idea. So I came to the idea to have a unification of this interpretation of what innovation is. And I said it, innovation is any new idea or adopted idea which can be executed to create value. And keep in your mind, if you have an idea, but you cannot execute it, it's an illusion. If you have an idea and you can execute it to create the value, then it is innovation, according to my definition. And because all the illegal work, they are very innovative, or the thief, all the illegal people, they are very innovative, but they don't create value, right? So creation of the value, it's very, very important to call yourself innovative. It doesn't matter what are you doing, it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are. And then if we agreed on the definition of innovation, good, and the what? How can we do it? How can we do the process of innovation? How can I teach my children? How can I teach my coworkers? How can I teach my nation to be innovative? This is actually the main issue. How can I create value in order to help the others? This is the most important thing. I came with the innovation model, which it's very, very simple. It looks not so simple, but it is simple, which I said it is 3 columns of the innovation model. The first one is observation. Observation, second one is critical thinking, third one is execution and the value creation. And when I looked at it, you can see the lamp here and the stuff. I said, when we observe, the most important thing actually, you have to observe your surrounding, because your critical thinking will not come without observation. If you do not open your eyes, your ears, your nose, to smell, to use your senses, you will never think about anything. So you are sleeping. So, and that's why I said, when we start the process of thinking and creating an idea, we start with observation. It means for your children, you have to teach them how to observe. You have to encourage them how to observe. You guys, as a leader, you have to encourage your coworker, your staff, your team to observe. You, as a leader of a student, you do the same. When you start to observe your surrounding, your brain will trigger definitely the thinking process. So critical thinking and the liberal thinking, it's a very, very important process in the innovation. And liberal thinking means we are coming, all of us, from a different background. We are coming, all of us, from a different religion, color, society, everything. This is very important, this melting pot to come together in order to create a critical thinking. And I have seen that very clearly in United States. I have seen it in Dubai as well, and I have seen it in Singapore. Singapore, they invited everyone actually to come to the country and to try to create a melting pot to get actually some ideas. So I believe the critical thinking is one of the most important things, which is actually, I put it in the book, what government should do to increase and to encourage critical thinking and the liberal thinking, and what the families they have to do in order to increase and encourage the children and the co-worker as well. This is very important. So we have two parts. The third part is execution. And the execution of the innovation model, it depends on the ecosystem and the system of the country and the system of the society. So you need to live in a society and in a country or in a system which encourage you to execute your idea. And the very clear picture we have seen, most of the technology company, they came in the beginning from Europe, from Iceland, from Spotify, from Estonia, from so different countries, but they did not realize actually their dreams without going to the United States. Why to United States? Because the United States, they have actually the infrastructure, they have the ecosystem which encourages actually everyone to fail and to wake up again and stood up and to fail and stood up. And this system is not existing actually in Europe, unfortunately. It was existing in Europe after the Second World War in 1950, and we have seen actually a huge increase of innovation in the 50s and 60s in Europe, but after that became stagnant. And the United States was all the time actually the country of innovation, because not anything else, but because of the immigration system, the melting pot, what they get everyone to come in, and because of the liberal thinking and the execution. You can go to the United States and then you have an idea. This idea you can fund it immediately with any venture capital. Immediately, really. You work on it and you get it. In Europe, you have to sell your son in order to get 100,000 euros to do anything. So it doesn't work. And this is actually a hindrance of innovation process in Europe. And that's why we see everyone is going to the United States. And in Dubai, all the new countries actually, they encourage the people to come, and they have to create for them an ecosystem and a financial system which actually encourage them to do it. So this is actually the three main points of the innovation model. And how did I prove my innovation model? Because it was also, I said, okay, this is only a talk, what I am thinking about. How can I get the people to believe this is really the facts? So I got together with the two experts, actually, the Ken and the witness, and then I told them I would like to write the book. It was actually my PhD theme, and then I gave it to them, and they said, okay, we would like to edit the stuff, and we will put some more spices inside. Because the most important thing I said, I would like to prove throughout the history that this innovation model existing, and it was existing. Being Egyptian, I cannot actually forget my blood and my roots, so I wrote about the Egyptian civilization, and that's exactly where is a written civilization started. The Egyptian civilization is 5,000 years old, and this is the first written civilization. Might be more civilization before that, but it was not written and did not deliver as much as the old Egyptian actually deliver what we have seen right now. And I wrote about how the Egyptian innovation or the pharaoh. I don't want to call them pharaohs. I will call them the old Egyptian civilization. How they deliver actually the innovation values and what is the innovation in the old Egypt, which is transmitted actually and transferred to the Greek and to the Roman. And this is in the first chapter. In the second chapter, I was talking about a very important thing, which is actually being a Muslim, the golden age of Islam. The golden age of Islam has been actually, I believe, ignored in the history or in the writer, because most of the writer of the books, they are actually Western writers, and they ignore actually how important was actually the golden age of Islam. The golden age of Islam, guys, is the most important actually cycle which has been actually moving civilization from old civilization to a modern civilization. Without Islam, golden age of Islam, it will not be Europe, it will not be anything, nothing. Because the Muslims actually at that time, they translate all the works from the Greek, translated actually from the pharaohs, from the Egyptian, and then they translated from the Greek, and then from the Latin to Arabic, and the Arabic language was actually, I would say, the English language today. It was not really as we see it today, but it was the English language today. Everything has to be in Arabic. All the science, everything actually new, it was in Arabic. This is the innovation. And you will read actually about those innovation guys and figures in the Islamic world. And for just to mention, it was not the golden age of Islam only, but it was actually a golden age of the Judaism and the Christianity, because the Islam actually treated all the people equal. And it was really adl everywhere in the Islamic civilization in that time. And also it's ended very badly with blood, and that's why we have a fall of the civilization. And this is what I put it in my book, how the nations actually hold and lost their innovative age, because you go up and then you go down. It's a very biological effect, actually, like the cells in the human being. You're born, you grow, you die. Civilization is exactly the same. And the civilization means nations. So I came after the golden age of Islam, and then I talk about the miracle of Europe. And the word miracle was not my word. It was actually Miss Watson's word. She said the miracle of Europe, okay. And we talk about how Europe has adopted actually the innovation process and moved on. And I talk about it very clearly in the book, how they encourage actually immigration, how they encourage actually the financial system in order to build up innovative society. And it was very innovative, but now we see Europe very stagnant, and you don't get anything out of Europe actually for the time being, I mean, as an innovative nation. And then, of course, Europe moved or transmitted that to America. And America became actually on the top of the innovation path. And this was my question all the time, why actually America was all the time, you want to do anything, you go to America. Even if you open a company for $100 and you have the invention here in Berlin, but in order to spread it everywhere in the world, you go to America, you open a company for $100, and then you say, hey, it's an American company. So the image actually create the value of the product, not the product itself. So how to sell it, this is the most important thing. So that's why it is, America has been very, very interesting, because they attract all the immigration, they attract all the different nationalities, different religion, different colors, and they put them in a really society where you can move freely, thinking freely, and execute the idea. They create the financial system for that, and to execute their ideas and to create the values. That's why the taxes actually is very high in America as well, because You create value, and you create value for yourself and for your society. So, and creation of value, I would like to tell you something very important. What I found out that when you have an idea and you execute it, you create value. Those value can be spiritual value and can be monetary value. Spiritual value, I call it religion or ideology, and the monetary value, I call it economy. Because if we think about our religion, it was also observation. Sayyidina Ibrahim from the very beginning was observing: is the God, is the moon, is the God, is the sun, is the God, is the sky, and this is an observation. And then the thought process came, and then after that, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala gave him al-hidayah, and then give him the revelation for al-din Hanif, Islam, actually, Din Islam. So that's why I would say when you have a value creation as a spiritual leader, it's very, very important for us that we look at it not only monetary, but spiritually and psychologically, that you help the others. This is very, very important. And the more ilm you have, the more science you have, the more you have to give to the society. Even if you don't have money, it doesn't matter. But if you have science, ilm, please don't be stingy and give it to the others. And don't expect money. This is very, very important. So, come back to America. So America, as I said, it was very clear why South America didn't make it and America made it. And they are in the top of the innovation path. And I discussed that actually in my book. And then I moved, of course, to the big giant, China. So, and I was really very interested how China, I have 3 weeks course on Harvard Business School in Shanghai, and I met with many Chinese leader in the party, as well as professor in Tsinghua University in Shanghai. And it was very interesting to see actually how the Chinese system is working. And the Chinese system, I call it this is a system a la Chinois, as is only for the Chinese, because it is a capitalism and socialism. For the grassroots is a socialism, the guarantee social system, education, and housing. And on the top level, they are providing a lot of money, a lot of funds to the big company actually to innovate and to get bigger. So, and we have seen, I wrote a lot about China actually, because China was really a phenomenon of the 20th century and 21st century, from nowhere to a dragon. And it was very interesting to see that China is not a copycat. What we are listening all the time, oh, this is a copycat, this is an imitation. No, it's not. This is a value creation. And I go back to my interpretation when I said innovation is any new idea, adjusted, adopted idea. Look at Google and look at Baidu, look at any other company, Amazon, look at Alibaba. This is exactly adjusted, adopted idea. You can take any idea, adjust it and adopt it here in Berlitz, and this is an innovation if you can create value out of it. So, and China did the same, and they get out of poverty 600 million people. And this is a wonder. This is a real miracle. If you would like to talk about miracles, this is really China's greatness lies on that. And I was actually very interested after I read the book. It was 6 chapters, and then the 7 chapters came actually after Trump came into the picture. And then I said, this is the age of anti-globalization, because I believed in the globalization all my life. So, and I discovered something very important. In the first preface of the book, I said very clearly, innovation can be groomed and grow in a democratic society and a free society. And in the 7th chapter, I said, stop, yes, democratic, but it depends how you define democracy, actually. And I discovered that the most important thing for innovation is stability. stability is economic stability and political stability. And we have seen that very clearly in Russia. In Russia, after the Second World War, they have an autocratic regime, but they were very stable. And we have seen a lot of innovation in the war science, in the chemistry, in the biology, in so many science. Actually, Russia was very, very developed. And that came actually in the 90s, the bad days of the Russian society or the Russian government, and they did nothing. And all what they built actually in 30, 40 years, despite is good or bad, I don't talk about it, politics is good or bad, but all the innovation, what they had actually dropped, and they were nothing until the Mr. Putin came now, and but he screwed up again. I mean, this is, we cannot do anything. So for this age of anti-globalization, I discussed actually why we are losing our innovative age because of the anti-globalization. And I wrote, after that, I call it chapter 8, but I put it on my LinkedIn as a blogs. What is the difference between the globalization of tangible and the globalization of intangible? And I said the digital became more globalized, but the tangible assets, the tangible things, more localized or regionalized. And being a trader, I'm a paper trader, and I have seen that very clear how we challenge actually to move goods from a place to the others. And we have seen it with the COVID, how to move actually people from place to the other. But we have seen the digital innovations, it is spread everywhere in the world. And I was talking to Twanko, and I said everything with the Zoom. I love the Zoom. I love to do virtual. And this is really the globalization of the digital world for the time being, which creates a lot of value as well. So both of them creates value, but that was the age of anti-globalization. So I would like to tell you that the last thing what I would like to mention, that motivation for the book cover design. Actually, it is not, I made it according to the Blue Ocean strategy, and I think the professors here in sitting, do you know what Blue Ocean strategy is? It's about innovation, and you create actually new value all the time when you have a competitive atmosphere. You get out of this bloody ocean to a blue ocean. And there's a textbook actually in some universities in France and in Canada. And I put it for exactly blue and red, from a red ocean to a blue ocean. And being a paper trader, I put actually these kites, paper kites. And the Global Innovator is the only one who goes from the red to the blue. So it has a sense. Everything, it has actually a meaning here. And for your information, the design and everything, I did it with a freelancer, with an app. Actually, it cost me nothing. It cost really, and this is a new innovation as well. So everything I did in the book, actually, it was innovative. And that's why I said I have to share this experience with you guys. And that's all. Thank you very much, and go ahead, be innovative.